XCN reminds me of XLM, but better. Even though nothing I say is financial advice, the reason being is because, first of all, I want to make clear that I don't think it's better in terms of fans, hype, or exposure. But what I think it's better is the fact that it just has more hypothetical upside at this point, at least in my opinion, because when I take a look at these two projects, when I take a look at Stellar, aka XLM, and when I take a look at XCN, which is the native token of the Onyx protocol, really it's focused on the exact same things: global trade and finance, payments market. But if someone came to me and said, hey, within these two projects, let's say projects that are focused on global trade and finance, payments market, again, only these two options, what would you put all your eggs into one basket in for this sport? Now, if I'm asked that question, I would say hands down is going to be something like XCN, because XLM, let's face it, it's amazing, it's fantastic. Stellar blockchain is wonderful, it's lightning fast. But if you take a look at the market cap of XLM, it's pushing $9 billion. So it's so close to 10 billion basically. Can that do, let's say, a 90x from here? Highly unlikely, especially during this sport. Now, what on the flip side could maybe, hypothetically, even though nothing I say is financial advice, do, let's say, in a make-believe scenario, 90x? I would arguably say that XCN has a higher likelihood of doing something like that, because XCN, if it were to do a 90x from here, give or take, at that point, the price would be $1. Now, is that too much to ask for? No, I don't think so, because considering current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $32.5 billion, which is still well above $100 billion less than XRP's current market cap. I'm not saying what XRP could have moving forward. No, that's even the current market cap of XRP as we speak. And XRP, let's face it, even though it's done very well and the Ripple and SEC case is pretty much allegedly gone, hopefully forever, even despite that, we're not in a fully fledged bull run yet, at least when it comes to the whole crypto space. So could you imagine that? It doesn't seem too difficult, at least in my opinion, especially again during a fully fledged bull run once it's in fifth gear. Like, let's say XRP goes to the price of $10 or $15, let's say XLM goes to the price of $10 or whatever, and let's say Bitcoin goes to $250,000 and maybe even more, and Ethereum's around $10,000. At that point, XCN at the price of $1, would that be too crazy? I just don't see why not, which is why I do believe that when it comes to something like XCN, it really does remind me of XLM, but I think a lot better, at least in terms of hypothetical upside. Now it's just a waiting game at this point because only time will tell, but I'm bullish on this nonetheless. And I'm going to wait and see, because I think near the end of this year, things could be hypothetically a different story, which is why I'm staying patient. I'm not giving up. And $1, that's my price target for XCN during this run, reminds me of XLM, and I think it's just much better for me. And I think once summertime passes, I think that things hopefully do pick up again, because historically this has kind of been the case, at least as a worst case scenario we've seen from time to time, because usually as a worst case scenario, altcoins, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. The last Bitcoin halving event happened in April of last year, so 18 months from then would actually mean around October this year. So that's why I'm paying attention to near the end of this year. Now, only time will tell again if it's going to be correct this time around, but I'm staying patient nonetheless. I haven't given up when it comes to XCN. I believed in XCN before it pumped. I believed when it was pumping. I believed it when it was doing very good. And I still believe in it as of right now. And $1, again, that's my price target for this board. Kind of reminds me of XLM, but theoretically, it could be better, at least in terms of hypothetical upside, at least potentially and hypothetically for me, even though, again, nothing I say is financial advice. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's Bunny the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.